you said that you talk to a lot of youngsters and they come to you and speak about these things. You have an academy. You have inspired, women's tennis kind of came of age, with you. And you have inspired so many girls who've had no sporting background. Parents never played, nothing, but they want to play tennis and they choose tennis because of you. Does it sometimes, have you sometimes thought of it that, are they choosing, I'm sure a lot of them want to play tennis, but they want to be a Sania Mirza. So where does this balance out? Have you thought about it? Is it because they see this image of, this public image of Sania Mirza, and that's what they want to be? Or are they really coming into it for tennis? Because I know girls, so many girls who want to be a Sania Mirza. Have you ever dealt with this question?
Yeah, of course. I think that, when I started playing tennis, which is 33 years ago, the only person that we kind of followed, or the only person that we kind of knew, a sports woman icon from this country, was P.T. Usha. That was the person that we grew up on, and nobody really understood or knew what she looked like, because obviously media was not as big as it is today. But we knew an image of her, कि अच्छा P.T. Usha ऐसे होती होगी, भागती होगी, करती होगी. But we never really understood. Today with social media, it's very different. Life is very different. You're so in touch, and you almost know your sporting heroes. So it's a lot easier to get inspired by them. At that point, you had to find your own inspiration and just hoping that one day you can get somewhere. And in tennis, there was absolutely nobody at that point, and especially a female sports person that I could follow. So at that point, we never, ever in our life thought that we would play sport to become a star or to earn money. We played sport because we love to play sport. So I had a lot of cricket in my family, and I'm pretty sure if I was a boy in that time, I mean, today things are so much more different, but in that time, I'm pretty sure even I would have been playing cricket because of how much cricket there was in my family. I've had Ranji Trophy players, Indian cricketers, and, it keeps going on. But I was the first girl to play a sport from the entire family. I was the first girl to play tennis, and never in our wildest dreams did we think that we would be on television, or that we would achieve the things that we would achieve, and even if we did somehow achieve them, that we would get a certain amount of fame and money with it. That was a byproduct of what I was doing. And it came as a byproduct because, let's be honest, there was nobody who had gotten that kind of fame and money, or, the kind of attention that I was getting, when I was 17, 18 years old. So it was unfathomable for us as well. And that, to answer your question, you always have to remember why you started playing tennis, or why you started playing a sport. And your reason cannot be to walk the red carpets and to be on television and to, be on hoardings or to shoot TV ads. That's a byproduct of what you do.
Precisely.
You have to be playing, and you have to wake up every morning because you love the sport. You have to wake up every morning and say, I want to do this. I want to put my body through this. I want to put my mind through this for 30 plus years. Because I want to do it, because I want to make my country proud, because I want to play for my country, I want to make my family proud. That is what you play sport for. That's what I played sport for. So my suggestion and my advice to young kids who are ever looking at any of your sporting heroes, don't look at them because they are,
a media package.
No, not look at them because they are selling you sunscreen. Look at them because they are winning. Look at them and try to emulate what they are doing while they are winning. What are they doing outside of that field, or the tennis court, or the boxing ring? What are they doing over there? And remember why you started, because putting your country's name forward, I mean, seeing the India flag go up because of you is far greater feeling than walking any red carpet in the world.
Precisely.
I can promise you that. So for me, I just always tell young girls and young kids, do it for the right reasons.
Precisely. Do it for the right reasons. Know what labor goes in behind. Don't just see, what's on the red carpet. Okay, Sania, I will wrap up in another maybe 7 minutes. There's one or two other questions I want to ask you. Now, you've spoken openly about the media, about being asked, I remember one particular interview that you're not asking me that I just won a Grand Slam. You're asking me who's looking after my son. Now that's an unfair question, completely unfair. Now, you've dealt with that kind of scrutiny on your life. And we as women, I think, we are constantly dealing with that, we are trying to balance. But there's the other side of it, mom guilt. I mean, for instance, do you have those moments where you feel, I need to tell my child, because I've had those moments where I need to tell my child, look, I'm your mother and that's the most important thing, but, I also have this other thing which is as important. Tell us about that balancing part of it, because we deal with a lot of women deal with mom guilt.
Yeah, I think mom guilt is very real. I mean, one thing is acceptance. We have to accept that we cannot be everywhere all the time. That's the first thing. And just the same way dads can't be.
Yeah.
So, of course, I think mom guilt comes more because of the conditioning that we have, that we are, for whatever reason it is, more responsible for the child's, looking after the child or taking care of the child, and it comes more out of it. It's not like that, right? It's supposed to be 50-50, but we all know it's never a 50-50. But mom guilt is real. I mean, me being here, I need to leave my son in Hyderabad, then I need to come here, I need to take a flight. What do I do? Do I feel bad about it and sit here and say, oh my God, do I not take up work? No, that's not how life works. That's not how life works. Life, you need to also be an inspiration for your kids, to tell them that you need to follow your dreams, you need to follow your own path. You can't just, minimize yourself. Being a mother is a very big part of my identity, but it's not my only identity. I think that's an acceptance all women need to make.
Precisely.
Being a tennis player is a very big part of my identity. It's not my only identity. I have many identities as a human being, and being a mother is one of them. And yes, there are priorities that I set, but I do feel the one way that I try to do it is, basically, I try to, wherever I go, I try to be 100%, and I accept that I can't be 100% everywhere. I cannot beat myself over the fact that I cannot be in Hyderabad with my son right now and be doing this right now. I can't do it. It's just not possible humanly. So the same way, I'm in that position, and we are all in that position many times, where people go to work, people go to office, people go in the morning. I mean, they have mom guilt too. Everybody has mom guilt. So what do? I come here, I take a flight, I leave as late as possible, and I leave as early as possible so I can still spend the night with my son. I mean, that's the only thing that I can do, but I can't stop my life just because I have another relationship, So I feel that, and this may or may not work for everybody, it works for me, and there is no right or wrong way to this. Some people might be okay just 24 hours. I know people who are 24 hours with their child, and, they don't even leave the child with a nanny, but I don't know if I would want a life like that. I don't know. I think in 15 years, that child will have his own life, and he or she is going to be like, and then you're going to be sitting there with your hands up in the air. So there are many facets to it. For me, I feel that every time I step out, I work, I do what I'm doing. I am setting an example for my child to tell him that you need to follow your dreams. I'm setting an example for my child to tell him that no matter what, you need to still go after what you love. You need to still do what you love, what you want to do, because you have an identity. So tomorrow, the same way, he will have more of an identity than just being my son. He's going to be his own person, and then he's going to have his own priorities. That's just the way life works.
Thank you, Sania. Good for me to hear that as well. And I do think our children will be prouder of us when they know that, we did what we wanted to, and we also brought them up. I think they will always be more proud of that when they grow up than, we gave up everything for them. I'm nearing the end, but I want to ask you one question, Sania. These days when anybody is asked, would you like to be reborn as yourself, or, anything else that you would like to be reborn as, I hear everyone saying, no, of course, I'm very happy and I want to be reborn as myself. And you might well say the same thing. But, I recently heard an interview of the great Lata Mangeshkar, and somebody asked her way back, would you like to be reborn as Lata Mangeshkar? And she said no. So I want to ask you, Sania, would you like to be reborn as Sania Mirza or somebody else? And if so, what are the moments of your life that you would, what are maybe 1 or 2 or 3 key moments of your life that you would like to relive again?
Well, I mean, I don't really believe in reborn. I believe this is it. I believe this is what we have, and this is what we are supposed to do, and this is what we are supposed to be, and that's why we are here. I believe that I wasn't put on earth just to hit some tennis balls and win some tennis matches. I think I had a larger purpose, and I feel that I'm trying to fulfill that larger purpose in my own way. And I feel we all have our own purposes assigned to us. So to answer your question, I feel like this is it. I believe that I am in this position in my life with all the experiences I've had, and I don't have anything where I can look back and say, I wish that didn't happen or I wish that didn't happen, because it actually made me the woman that I am today. So I believe that whatever has happened for the best, and I believe that I am here for a reason. Whether, like you said, there are a couple of interviews of mine that inspired you, and you have nothing to do with tennis, so it could be, so it cannot be that I'm just here to hit tennis balls, right? So I believe that I would love to relive winning Wimbledon again. I believe that I would love to winning my first ever medal again. I was 15. So I mean, there are a few moments. I believe I would love to maybe have a outside seat to watching how my parents really juggled bringing Sania, the little girl, up when we didn't really have a lot of money, and with how they dreamt of the dream that we are living today. I would love to have an outside seat to watching that happen if I was to change things. But besides that, no, I believe that everything has happened in my life for the best, and I believe that I'm extremely grateful to God for every experience that I've had.